Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Witcher one-shot leading into our Season 2 Witcher of Ways of Old campaign. This one-shot for Easter. I am your storyteller, or your game master, whatever you'd like to call it, Gilbert Ramos, aka Ramos on all social media. I'm CEO and founder of RollingNomads, and tonight I have gathered the Witcher crew, both from Lost Days and Ways of Old, and we're going to mash them together and get something probably really chaotic. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the people you're actually here to see, our players. We'll begin with Nyoka.
What's up, everybody? My name is Edge Survival, or Edge the Nomad, or simply Edge on different platforms, all platforms. I am like a HR rep, I think, somewhere here at RollingNomads. And today I will be playing your Viper Witcher, Nyoka.
Hell yeah, it's good to see you again. Good to see you with the dual blades again. Very excited to see it. We'll move over to one of our mages, Cersei.
Hello, I'm Luna, or Druid by Night. You can find me at Druid by Night on most social media platforms. And for this time zone, for this stream, and for The Witcher, Ways of Old, I will be portraying Cersei Aveline, the Arethusan classically trained maid.
Classically trained indeed. Pleasure to have you back. It's been a hot minute. Let's see what you've been up to. Now to someone a little less classically trained, let's go over to Visha.
Hello everyone. I am Larissa Rave. You can find me all over the social media as such. But this evening I will be playing Visha Kamari, the in fact not classically trained mage, more so an alchemist.
Indeed. It's been a hot minute since we've seen you as well. Happy to have. Let's see if we can get these two mages to work together. It's classically difficult to do. And last, but certainly not least, our second Witcher, Kura.
Hello everybody, happy to be back. I am Warren, found everywhere at The Demons Within, and I will be playing Kura. Very excited to make these mages work together.
Indeed. It's a pleasure to have you back. It's a pleasure to have everyone back for our Witcher game here on the RollingNomads. Now, for this Easter one-shot, let's begin. And we begin each episode, including our one-shots, with a brief recap. Now, it's been a while since you've seen these characters. Let's see what they've been up to. When last we saw Nyoka and Cersei in this timeline, in canon, they had just finished slaying the vampire, Renwick. Nyoka had dispatched him with his newly acquired mutagenic vampiric arm. And last we saw the Ways of Old cast and crew, the question was, why did that work? How did this happen? As you can see, we are wanting for some of our Ways of Old cast and crew. This is because after this event, mission was done. The world was saved. Sometimes friends drift. Sometimes people move apart. Nyoka returned to the Lost Days crew, to Visha and Kura, in order to help them slay a dragon, only leaving his friends with a simple answer about his arm. It was a mutagen. Calamus and Relg, having decided that they could spend the remaining days that they had together, after adventuring for so long, and together with their friends Ingrid and Cersei, decided to go off and be together, to enjoy the time that they had. Calamus, at least for the time being, believes that they can be satisfied with the human lifespan that they have, rather than pursuing mutagens and the alchemical transformation of becoming a witcher. Ingrid of Sintra has returned to Bear Keep to reclaim it and to make it once more the home for the Bear Witchers. Leaving Cersei and Elodie to go off to Toussaint, like they had always talked about, beginning a vineyard, and living the rest of their lives peacefully and in silence. Our Lost Days crew, however, did not live in peaceful silence. Traveling across Nilfgaard, they had gathered, or were trying to gather, support to slay Kura's dragon. Now, the issue with this is that Kura and Visha don't have a whole lot of political savvy. They were trained for very specific purposes by each of their masters. And it's been a hard road, we'll say. Even when Yoko rejoined them, visiting the locals and the politicians and lords has resulted in, at worst, them being banned from cities. At best, politely but firmly asking them to leave. Frustrated with this, they returned to Cadfan's tower, now Visha's tower, and began to comb through the tomes and the many bits of arcane and lost knowledge that Cadfan had gathered over his years to find something that might help them so they don't need the Lord's help. They don't need the local politicians to assist with them. Nyoka, Kura, and Visha, our story begins with you. As we go across Nilfgaard, cross through the skies, down into Ebbing, and just on the outskirts of this tower, we find ourselves within. I will ask you, Kura. All of you are researching, all of you are digging through tomes. Have you gathered all in the same hall, do you think? Question for the group, more so. Kura, I'll get to you very shortly for a more refined question.
I think so. I think Visha, however, has kept herself a bit separate from the group. She's familiar with these tomes and these arcane artifacts and whatnot, so she finds herself separate, pulling things from the shelves and then plopping them down on tables where the other two reside.
Imagine that Kura's a little lost in the sauce. Because some of these are probably not in English. Some of these are probably written in whatever code Cadban used. So every so often, I'm just going to be going over to Visha and just be like, is this useful? No? Okay. I'm just chucking books at this point because I'm so annoyed. Instead of putting them back where they go.
And Nyoka, would you be researching and in the same room as your friends, or would you be off on your own?
Yeah, I'll be around here and there, researching, probably criticizing. Yeah.
Indeed. Then I will ask for you, Kura. Your sister has complained about Cadfan's organization, his own system for this, and there has been an effort made alongside looking for hidden knowledge and looking for something that might help you in this endeavor to recategorize and put to something that Visha is more inclined to keep as far as a categorization and inventory system. With all of this, Kura, how fucking bored are you?
Extremely. But every so often, Visha's going to have to stop Kura because she's going to find something interesting that she can read that relates back to Witchers. Either their signs or some kind of lore about them, because Cadban kept breathing.
Indeed he did. I would like you to make our first roll, Kura. Intelligence and deduction.
It's a whopping 12.
Understood. You come through this, there are interesting things here. Cadfan seemed interested in experimentation and mutation. So there are things on Witchers and the signs and what the capabilities and limitations of a Witcher might be. You find yourself buried in a tome right now, maybe not hiding it from your sister, maybe not hiding it from the group, but just sort of engrossed. And as you read through, we pan over to Nyoka. In this, you have found something similar to Kura, where you found that Cadfan has been interested in mutation and experimentation. But is there anything in particular that you might be sidetracked by, Nyoka? Anything in this lost hall that you might find yourself sidetracked by?
Yeah, there's several things I'll be sidetracked by. Anything that has like elder speech, you know, old elven tombs, things of, White Frost, anything that has to do with the upcoming threat that we're always faced with.
I'm going to call for our second roll, intelligence and monster lore. Now, being a Witcher, you can substitute this out for Witcher training if you so choose.
I would love to sub it out for Witcher training.
By all means.
I got a 10.
That is an explosion in the Witcher system, bringing you to a total of what?
I roll again, right? Or yeah,
Correct.
I roll again. Okay, so and my second roll was a 2, but a total of what is that? 2, 6, 8, 16, 10, 26.
26.
Yeah.
You find a detailed account of the Wild Hunt, stories that track through generations. And you begin to see not necessarily a pattern, but a frequency. You can understand maybe not where they show up, but there's a timeline. It seems to be on a table here, Nyoka, and you find yourself engrossed in this tome. You begin to calculate when they might show up again, or just a raiding party, something that you could find answers.
If I could, I would try to distract Kura. Of course, not distraction is the goal, but call Kura to come look as my scholarly interests take over on the Wild Hunt, and to strategize Witcher to Witcher about these findings.
Or do you go over?
Depends on how loudly you're calling, because I am busy with my own thing.
Kura!
Why?
Come take a look at this.
Do I have to?
Are you a Witcher?
I mean, do you know? I'll start heading out.
And as you join Nyoka and begin to listen and get imparted more lessons, Kura, her eyes drift very, very shortly, a short distance away, to Visha. You are in not exactly an off chamber or anything like that, but off to the side at your own sort of desk, a sort of elevation in this ringed room. Is there anything in particular, aside from the goal, that you think you might get distracted by?
I think that Visha, she's been, of course, doing her work. In fact, I think she has probably slept less than her sister or Nyoka, because she's been studying for their goal, but she's also been doing something secret. She's not forgotten that Nyoka mentioned the Wild Hunt, and that's the true threat. And she thinks the one way you can beat something like that is to create an army of witchers. she knows Cadvan has things here for that. So she's been researching on the low. How do I create more witchers?
Give me a magical training roll.
Okay.
As a reminder, your D10 plus the skill plus the attribute that it is tied to.
Okay. A 17.
17. You comb through. You found a number of spells that you think might be helpful to your endeavor. But nothing that's going to stop a dragon. Nothing that's going to level the playing field with the three of you versus a great beast. You comb through. You find one of Cadfan's books. Something dark. Cadfan was no stranger to experimentation. And in his years, maybe not when you were his apprentice, maybe before, maybe when he first started out, somewhere along the line, Cadfan vivisected a witcher and began to piece them apart and to identify organs, differences, the changes. It's gruesome work, Visha. But it is knowledge.
She, almost in a distracted way, she has this book in her hand. She sort of floats over to where they are, distractedly. And then I think while they're in the midst of conversation, there are moments where she's like looking at charts and formulae and all these things, and then looking at them and looking at their body and essentially doing comparisons. There's like at one point where she like lifts Kura's arm and is like looking at it and just doing weird things like that, you know, going behind Yoka and just like hovering her hand behind him to see if he notices the close proximity. She's like doing her little tests without actually hurting them or doing anything like that. But
I won't even require a roll. I think that despite, I think maybe in Yoka you'd be engrossed in the tome that you found, but I don't think it would be enough to keep you unaware of your surroundings, and especially for Kura, your sister's being fucking weird again. I'll turn the scene over to all of you.
there's one point she comes over to Kura and just puts her hand on your face and pulls down on your eye and is looking at your eye.
What are you doing?
I'm just seeing. You right. And she like kind of comes to herself again and it's like, that was a weird thing for me to do. I found a book. And so I was just seeing the differences between you and regular folk.
Aren't y'all basically the same one?
Yes, we're twins, but because she's a witcher.
The mutagens and everything kind of messed with the body, but still, ass.
Right. No, of course, because consent is important. Right. The Wild Hunt, you mentioned it a while ago, that it is a threat. And, oh, that's what you're looking at. How fascinating. Well, Cadfan was doing experiments and learned some things, and so I was simply double-checking his work.
Experiments on the Wild Hunt?
Experiments on Witcher. You see, and she puts the book down on the table so you can see. You see, here he's showing, well, there's no light way to put it, but he vivisected a witcher, studied your biology. I want to use his knowledge to help create more witchers.
In this book, the page that is turned to Nyoka and Kura, as I said, it is gruesome. There is a sort of Vitruvian man splayed out across the pages, and there are diagrams and sort of zoom-ins of the eyes and the veins that creep across a witcher when they ingest certain potions. It's anatomy. It's a witcher's anatomy detailed, likely from first-hand experience.
So you see like this right here, and she points this out to the eye. And she says, you have a curious reaction when you take your special potions. That would kill a regular person, but not a witcher. In essence, I'm trying to reverse engineer and work my way from there, allowing me to create more of that special potion that you are all given to make you what you are.
I'm gonna look
You
around.
plan on
at
taking
the...
that potion?
Oh no, I'm a mage. I don't need those silly potions.
Oh.
But
As a-
to fight a war, you need soldiers. So, you were saying, Kura?
Do you think that's the same thing that he was doing, trying to reverse engineer us? As I look around at the rest of the tomes in this massive freaking room.
Well, who's to say? Maybe. More likely he was curious. Probably wanted a way to stop you all.
Through the double doors, as they are flung open, bursts a more impatient. Someone who couldn't sit and comb through the tomes and grew frustrated as the months went on. Clad in black, simple robes, is Wesrald, companion that joined you along the way during your political run, let's say. He bursts forth, sweat on his brow, and he says, "He's alive! He's alive!
Who's alive?
We are out of time! He's been spotted!" He kind of circles down the stairway, flows around the room, making his way, and brings a simple piece of parchment, scraps of information scrawled. He plays it on the desk and he says, "That little bit of hope that we had, that he might be dead. He's alive. And he's been spotted, which means he's active, he's flying, he's taken to the air again, and he likely has smelled you by now."
The dragon. You're speaking of the dragon.
He's been spotted. Outside of Ebbing.
Was there hope that he was dead?
I held hope that he was dead.
Right. Okay. We've run out of time. Which we are no closer to figuring out how to defeat this dragon. And it's clear we have no allies.
Well, he's been spotted now. The lords have to listen now, don't they?
I would love to say yes, but I highly doubt it.
You can always contract yourself out to an estate. And if the dragon comes, they'll be forced to deal with it.
Yeah, but I don't want to put innocent people in harm's way. If I can help it.
Well,
The whole reason I want to deal with it early.
Well, it's been 10 months, and I think that we've given him more than enough time to sniff you out. I think, since he points to the paper and says, outside of Ebbing, that's incredibly close. That's vague, but he could be outside of our fucking door.
that is incredibly close.
Where did
I
this
don't-
information come from? Is it from the peasants?
Woman at an inn, from a town crier.
The nobles aren't going to listen to that.
Okay, all right. Nyoka, you ran with a different group. Are any of them capable of talking to lords and ladies and doing that whole political thing?
I mean, there was Ingrid. She was knighted, but obviously Centra fell. Cersei,
Cersei.
another mage.
Ah.
I'm sure she has some experience. Yes. Have you heard of her?
Aretusa train. I see.
Or magic could still help.
Slams book shut. Well, then I guess we're going to see Cersei then. And she starts shoving the book into a bag.
Okay. I was gonna.
I'm gonna look to Kira and say, she seems mad.
Sorry, Tucson.
Slams books, slamming like boxes open to pull out potions and things. And then you see she goes over to a table that has like an array of herbs and various things that she uses to create her own things. And she grabs some special leaves just in case and throws them into a bag. And then she's, well, hurry up, let's go.
I don't know where she is. Nyoka,
While
do you...
she's gathering all the stuff, I'll be whispering to Nyoka. And just be like, she'll never admit it, but I think she's a little jealous of the whole classically trained, better than I stigma thing that goes with Aretusa.
Takes off shoe and throws it at Kura's head. I'm still in the room.
We're busy.
Toussaint, last I heard. Yeah.
I can... Okay, that narrows the scope. I could try to witness and interview, if... So we can get her
to witness what?
Well, we don't know. We still don't know exactly where we're going. Toussaint is a large country, and
a vineyard. What's the name of the city? The capital.
The capital of Toussaint. Okay, that narrows it down even further. But we would still need to find her in this the capital of Toussaint.
Nyoka, did you say she had a shop?
Does she still have a shop? Where was the the shop? Isn't in Tucson.
The shop that, as a reminder to the viewers and to our players, the shop that Cersei had is now gone, as it was sacked when Temeria was attacked in Vizima.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not they have a new shop, that's remains to be seen.
All that Aretusa training couldn't keep a shop. Hmm.
Very nice.
Well, the city was at war.
According to you, the whole continent's at war.
Well, a war that nobody believes. So.
Yes, they're a bit busy with the war that's actually present and accounted for, but I'm going to... And he begins to go over to a small brazier and lights a fire.
I will give this warning before any of you all meet. Of course, I won't tell anything Cersei probably wouldn't want me to, but please be on your best behavior when we do meet. Mages are dangerous enough, and their companions can be a lot more dangerous.
What is that supposed to mean? I am always on my best behavior.
I'm just staring at her.
As Wezrold looks into the flame, you see his eyes change. Flames dance not just in the irises and the pupils, but they spread to the whites as he begins to peer across the continent. As you all bicker and get ready possibly make a trip. Our eyes follow his across the continent, spreading into Tucson, moving across this place into Beauclair. Now, our eyes have the lucky ability to never miss. However, his would require a roll. Before we get to that roll, Cersei, where do our eyes find you just before someone tries to see you?
What time of day is it?
Midday, cresting into that portion where the evening might take hold, and with today being a very special day, it's been busy already. It's almost time for the festivities.
I think you would find Cersei taking a breath in her garden. She has been trying to cultivate a green thumb over these last 10 months when there is time for it. And she's just overseeing her flowers, all of course to be used for rituals. And she is just taking a moment to get some fresh air and prepare mentally to get back into the fray of preparing for tonight's festivities.
Indeed, you breathe in the fresh air of Beauclair. Your vineyard is well known at this point. The capital that you and Elodie have poured into this place has paid off. Tonight you are to deliver a good portion of wine for the celebration of Belleteyn. As you breathe in, having checked ledgers and shipments and stores, you breathe. You let the stress wash away. You look at the flowers, things you've grown. Cersei, 10 months is a long time. Not long enough to forget what you've had to grow, what you had to scrounge for when you were traveling. In this garden, I assume there are roses, there are pretty flowers, only meant to provide aroma and beauty. But in this garden, are there things that are of other use?
There are.
You look across your garden. It's beautiful. It's a piece that you fought for.
I think Cersei is reflecting on a conversation, the last conversation she had with Calamus before they parted ways. He promised to teach her alchemy. And that next they saw each other, so part of her gardening has been preparing those ingredients necessary for improving her modest skill in alchemy.
Indeed. It's been 10 months, Cersei. 10 months since Renwick. 10 months since your friends decided to part ways. For Ingrid, the mission wasn't over. She had to travel on. It was something she felt she needed to do alone. There's no telling what's become of her. Whispers and rumors don't travel from the Amel Mountains all the way down to Tucson. Calamus and Relg retired much like you did with Elodie. Live together, find their own peace. Promised to visit. And 10 months sounds like a long time, but it's only 10 months. You haven't seen them? For Nyoka, you know that he had an obligation. Something he had to go do. I have 2 questions for you as we reflect on your friends. The answer that Nyoka gave you regarding his arm and how he was able to slay Renwick, finally. Was it satisfactory? Or do you hold suspicion?
Certainly not satisfactory. The mutagen that Ingrid ingested changed her entire body. It was also vampiric in nature, so these things don't seem to add up, but I know precious little about Witcher alchemy. I can only speculate.
Indeed. My second question for you, Cersei, is, even amidst the peace, how lovely it's been. Some of the rocky roads of helping Elodie fight the addiction that was forced on her by Renwick. Even with the peace and the quiet and the mundane, do you think you miss your friends and the adventure, the stakes, the adrenaline?
Cersei does miss her friends. She misses those quiet moments with Ingrid when they would both sit together doing their own activity by a fire. She misses the wit and intellectual dance that she would have with Calamus every so often when there was time. She misses helping Raoul through his own trauma, something that she was really happy to do. And she misses Nyoka, though they had such little time together. The only time they really spent was one, when the city was being sacked. And then next they saw each other, another city, on fire. There was never time to really get to know each other, and that's a shame.
You reflect. Your thoughts are interrupted by a young man's voice. Oliver comes to you and says, Cersei, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, what's the matter?
Nothing's the matter, just, people asking questions that I don't have the answers to, exactly. The vintage, when things were pressed and brewed, I've never gotten that deep into the weeds, and they look at me as if I'm inept.
Well, we can't have that.
Well, it's hard to argue when it is true in this sense. So I think your expertise is needed, alongside Elodie, whenever you have a moment.
I have a moment now. Yes. And she didn't realize she was starting to tear up a little, and she dabs her eyes.
Are you all right?
I'm fine, dear. Just long day. Longer ahead.
Well, it's only for the one night, and things will maintain the rest of the year, I suppose. But this is a big day for the vineyard, so some fame is to be gathered tonight, I think.
Absolutely. Shall we?
He offers you his arm. Oliver is young and unsure of himself still. But he's kind. And he's gentle. And he's a little bit... he has a flair with people in order to hide his unassuredness. He tries to be more... tries to be more. So this is him. Once you get amongst the people, you know that he will turn on the charm. He will turn into something, a showman. He takes your arm. And the first step you take, I'm gonna need a magic training roll, please.
So I rolled a 1. And then... Yeah, it's bad. It's bad out here. Okay, -8, so it's a 2.
Yeah,
It's a 2, because my skill's a 10.
2. Understood. You are relatively unaware as you move through your estate. You move through. You make your way down. There are men and women in your house that are left with Elodie that are going over costs and going over sort of trying to haggle last minute. And Elodie is a firm businesswoman as she staunchly tells them, no, this was the price we agreed on, and I will not have any more of this in my home. You disrespect me, and frankly, if you cannot pay, that sounds like a you problem. And you will have no wine tonight. A night at Belleteyn. This causes, amidst the proprietors, to kind of have almost a pissing contest of, I can pay, can they pay? And she sort of maneuvers around them and verbally pits them against one another. And she glances at you as you move through the home with Oliver. And she smiles. A genuine, not the businesswoman, not the sly swordsman, but a genuine smile.
I smile at her, and while typically Cersei would kind of swoop in and play the gentle, oh, well, perhaps we can do this, that, or the third, if that would be satisfactory for the price. But it is the Night of Belleteyn, and, well, Elodie's cute when she's in the zone.
She goes back to it. As Oliver leads you to deal with business of your own, our vision joins Wesrold's once more. And in this moment in the tower, you all hear Wesrold say, holy shit, I've got her. Holy shit, this has never happened before. I don't know what to do.
Well, celebrate is the first thing you should do. You've accomplished something you couldn't do before.
She's with a young man.
Tell us what you saw.
He still has the fire. She's with a young man. She's, I think there's wine involved. Not in like a drinking sense, but she's selling them something. She's negotiating, it looks like.
So she does have a shop?
I think a vineyard.
Huh.
Well, she got money.
There's figures being discussed. I don't know if this is but this a vineyard in the capital, and kind of glances and kind of twists his head as if trying to strain and force his vision to look around the room. A vineyard in Beauclair. They're celebrating Belleteyn tonight, and she'll have to be there overseeing alongside Elodie.
Who is Elodie?
Uncertain. It's hard to together, and he kind of winces as if trying to read lips. Elodie was her partner, I believe. I remember Renwick being very frustrated with her.
Why?
Look to Nyoka.
I mean, is there anything you found out that I haven't told you?
I think I can find the. I can find the home once we go.
Then let's
Right.
go and let Cersei introduce themselves.
Yes, but
Okay.
who is Elodie? Why would Renwick be frustrated? with her?
Wezrel closes his eyes, breaking the spell, and kind of winces.
Oh, are you asking me this?
Yes, it.
Well,
Yes.
Misha, you have to understand that I'm not one to expose those close to me, their secrets. What I do know is, as long as we don't threaten Cersei, we should be good. And from there, whatever she wishes to tell you all, she will.
Is Elodie perhaps why I need to be on my best behavior?
He already said that. He said, "Don't piss off her partner."
You see the kind of like mischievous look in Bisha's eyes. No, of course.
You'll see Nyoka tapping his once missing arm on the table.
Huh. I see. Well, this should be fun. And all things considered, sounds like there'll be a party. And I do love parties.
This is the worst time of the year. But if we have to go, then let's go.
Drunk people, they're very forgetful with their coin. As she like gets ready to travel, she puts her shoe back on that she threw at Kura. Right, are we... Well, I don't imagine we're traveling all the way there. The regular way. And she's looking at Westworth like...
You were able to look. I just did the viewing. I would have to rest before bringing us. If
You still ain't learned that spell?
She was munching on something and crunches it real hard at her sister.
As a reminder, you did learn that spell.
I did learn the spell. Mm-hmm. She just wanted him to do it. So yes, she crunches her candy, and then yes, she will prepare to do this spell. She kind of gathers everyone close, and then she will essentially do her little, what looks like a ritual to open up this portal. And she's very good at not showing strain. She just looks over and goes, "Well, get in."
Going to pause you here. One of the prerequisites for this is it's anywhere you can recall. So, we've established you've traveled.
Mm-hmm. So I think, since I've maybe briefly stopped there, the portal will open up in an alleyway next to like a tavern of some sort. So they would come out in shadow. No one would be able to see us.
Understood. You open the portal and usher everyone through. For Nyoka and Kura, there's that sort of sickly sensation, that feeling of your stomach turning as if you were dropped very suddenly as you step through.
This isn't a vineyard.
I've never been there, so... But we're in the right place. And she will close the portal behind her. And just very quickly, like, brush at her face where sweat might have appeared. She just is like... Right,
We also
so...
probably don't want to be right in the middle of everything, given all that's
It
happening.
would be rather rude to just appear in her vineyard.
Where was all of this decorum when we were standing in lords' homes, begging for soldiers and cannons?
Yes, but that's lords, not the same thing.
I don't... All right.
Visha canonically hates them all. So she will start to walk forward. She is wearing like a cloak that sort of hides the rest of her outfit, but the hood is down, and her hair is loose and kind of in her face a little to hide the scars that she has. And she will walk forward, sort of looking around for any sign of a vineyard.
This leads to a couple questions, really. Wesrold has been described as in the black robes, not wearing a hood or anything like that to cover his appearance. But this leads to the question for Kura and Nyoka. One, essentially, what are you wearing? What is the accoutrement that you have donned? And two, are you displaying your medallions? Let's begin with Kura.
That depends, and I have to ask you a question first. Are Witchers looked at in Nilfgaard as the same as mages?
No.
Then my medallion is always out. And then, secondly, I would be wearing my normal gear that I always wear.
Understood. And then Nyoka.
Yeah, Nyoka is wearing his typical garb, leathers, armor, blades, a hood that is up, and a scarf around his neck. Noticeably, when he did step through the portal, he did tuck his medallion. And upon noticing Kura not doing so, would express or advise, perhaps you should tuck that away.
Why?
This is Nilfgaard, after all. You don't... Okay. Obviously, you don't know of the history of Nilfgaard and Witchers, correct?
No, but I've worn this everywhere, including all the lords and nobles we went to.
Well, then, let me tell you that the Emperor is the reason the School of the Viper no longer exists. And I'm sure he wouldn't take kindly to a griffin just as much he wouldn't take kindly to a viper.
Fine. Fair, I guess. Tuck it away. Very begrudgingly.
You will begin to travel to search for Cersei's vineyard.
Can I help with the search?
By all means, how would you like to do this?
I would like to track a monster. I smell some undead.
Understood. Let's see. I think this could be done. I think it's a little bit different than regular tracking for a monster because you spent some time with Elodie and you know the company that she keeps and where you could possibly find her. So less sort of looking for tracks and finding, dead animals and victims like that. More so recalling on a memory. I'll allow Witcher training to take your role, though.
Okay. Because I was going to say, begrudgingly, and maybe not so nicely, he still doesn't see Elodie as he would a human. So, not to say any less, but probably as he would look to another Witcher. So,
Understood.
I would like to look around as we've been told that she has a vineyard. I'm looking around for people they're holding wine bottles.
Understood. For you, I would require a different rule. Let's call this a simple intelligence awareness.
what did you want me to roll?
This would be your Witcher training.
15.
23. It exploded.
15 and 23. So, for you, Visha, I'm going to recall more so, rather than my own description, but more so, Cersei, I'd like you to take the reins a little bit on narrative control for what the bottles of wine that your vineyard produces and what the flavors might be. Describe the bottles of your wine, if there's any particular name, vintage, any design choice on the engraving or label.
I think what would give it away would be perhaps there's maybe in the tavern itself or a stall like you would see at Disney World or something, I don't know, selling refreshments on the side of the street. You would see two particular bottles. One, they're both kind of matte. One is red and one is black. The red one would be called Foxblood. And it is, upon smelling it, upon tasting it, there are notes of rose. Nice floral note. And the black bottle would be Crow's Ink. And that is another floral noted drink, but it is lavender in nature.
Okay.
These are the most prominent bottles that you see, used not trepidatiously, more sparingly, as people are celebrating. You can see in several portions of the town, they've set up the sort of poles and ribbons and things like that. There are people drinking, making merry, playing some street games and things like that. It's not exactly a carnival or anything like that, but people are indeed celebrating the coming of spring, the fertility of spring, and the festivals that come in. There are a lot of not carnal games, but more so like kissing games that are going on. You can see very clearly there are happily married couples that are being put to the test here, as sort of flirtatious individuals kind of beckon people over, and less than faithful husbands' eyes drift to be sort of scolded by their wives. It's quite the festivity, as there are lanterns and lights being lit to be placed throughout the city. There are it's lovely, really. It's full of life. This place it even smells different here. This is like a charmed city that pulls you in and beckons you to stay your home.
Yeah. I think in Visha seeing all this, she takes off her cloak and she's got a very vividly red velvet dress. And she just kind of, adjusts the girls, and while she's walking by, she'll wink at someone and just becomes very, very much the same energy as what she's seeing here. We'll give little waves to people. But all the while, in seeing these bottles, she is going to stop at a stand and say, "My, that smells lovely. Do you know where I can get myself a bottle?"
Well, this is going to be drifting about throughout the entirety of the city, but there's a large festival where you might find a larger storehouse. There is a larger festival put on by the Duchess over at the vineyard that has been making waves the past year.
Oh my. And where would that be? And she, kind of looks in the direction that he gestured.
On the waterfront, he points and starts to give directions. For you, Nyoka, the result of your roll, you can see Elodie's mark everywhere. You recognize the bottles. You remember the fox and the crow. You recall and remember your time with Cersei and Elodie and the learning that you did with this couple. And you see you can see very clearly where you have arrived is more of a common place, more of a town square almost for the large city of Beauclair. She won't be here. She'll be with the higher mucky mucks, the lords and ladies, the nobility. She had a silver tongue, you recall. She'll be somewhere more important. So as directions are given, you of course draw your own conclusion. I'll turn the scene over to all of you.
Think you're heading in the right direction, Visha? The fox and crow?
Yes. She says thank you to the man for his help. And she will say, "I believe he said over this way." And she starts just floating towards that area, as if she's gliding over the stone or whatever paves the roads. And Visha she has been stuck in this fucking tower and roaming around Nilfgaard. She is accustomed to muck and bog and swamp and just dead things, which she doesn't have a problem with. But to be in a place that is so lively and just so full of joy and all these things, she almost soaks it in like a sponge and starts to kind of radiate that same charm. Only her sister would know. It's a mask. It's not real. She's looking at people, calculating how much they have in their purses and if she could snatch it without anyone noticing. But she starts to lead the group in that direction.
Indeed. And as you go, there are individuals that sort of beckon you to the games, and not just you, Visha, but Kura and Nyoka as well. The people here are jovial and again in celebration. You are called out to offer a glass of wine to join them at their table to celebrate Belleteyn with them. There are flirtatious individuals that shoot their shot with all of you. How are they dealt with, do you think? And we can go... Whoever would like to go first?
I know.
Go ahead.
Well, for Nyoka, they're dealt with obliviously. Accidentally ignoring things, not catching hints, and maybe walking at a pace where it's just not enough. Why put that effort in to track them down, chase them down? So, yeah.
Understood.
For Kura, she's been spending a lot of time with Visha these past couple of months. So I'd like to say that she's picked up some more of the flirtatious banter that she does. So not exactly leading them on, but being sweet and just kind of drifting away.
Understood.
There are times when Visha is kindly, like, almost teasingly, like, no, not me. But there are a few ones that she think are drunk enough where she will get closer and she'll flirt a little bit with them and take coins from their purse, give them a little kiss on the cheek and say, oh, I must go, so much to see, and she will flit away. And then anytime she sees Kura like kind of wandering a little bit too far, she kind of just grabs her by the back of her armor and it's like, no, this way.
Let's see how successful you might be. And I think with Kura and Yoka having traveled with you all this time, I think that they could see possibly the game. Yoka, you might be annoyed with this, as you are on a sort of mission, as it were. But I offer the chance for Kura and you and Yoka to offer a bonus, in a sense, to Visha's sleight of hand.
Yeah,
I would,
I'll offer that
and
bonus.
my bonus would be the like ushering her away as she finished.
And then Yoko, what do you think you might offer in this sense?
Accidentally bumping into them to where I might be targeted rather than they, if they feel something is amiss.
I see. Understood. Visha, if you would kindly give me a sleight of hand roll, your bonuses are going to be dealt with by being given a lower DC.
So, listen, gang. I had 17 IP floating, and I have a 0 on sleight of hand. So, if I could just make my sleight of hand a little higher with that remaining IP.
Not in the middle of a session, unfortunately.
Well, shit,
We
gang.
got luck, right?
You do have luck.
We do have luck. Okay.
We put crap into luck, though.
Yeah, I got 1 luck, bitch. Shit.
I have 4.
You guys are doing great.
Okay. But hear me out, right? Instead of sleight of hand, can I do maybe perhaps a seduction in keeping theme with the festivities?
I'm going to say no. They have already been seduced.
God damn it!
Your goal is
I
their
tried,
coin,
y'all.
not their kisses.
I mean, it could be both. Shit. Okay. Whale dog. Gang.
Yellow.
Yeah.
It's a 7.
Okay.
I would use a luck. It's a 7, but I would like to use a luck.
Getting back into the system. Luck must be spent before the roll. But I'll allow you to spend it if you would like.
Yes. I don't think it's gonna be great though. I don't think it'll help me much.
So bring a total of 8 then.
Yeah.
So with an 8, and with him rolling a 1,
Yeah.
and imploding, with the help of Nyoka and Kura, kind of teaming up, one individual in particular, you've been doing this as you go and kind of drifting throughout, sort of not exactly like beelining for Cersei's vineyard, but you do this, and this is the one that kind of makes it feel like this might be the last one, and it's time to go. He reaches out and says, "We're in Toussaint, love, the city of love. It's, I think, and as tonight, all nights as well, Belleteyn. Please, grant me this one mercy, just one mercy. Join me for a drink."
I will be around for a little while. I do have something I need to do first. Will you be here all night?
I'll be wherever you need me.
Then don't move, darling. I will see you soon.
And with this, give the last little bit of like a touch on the cheek. And he moves as this last little bit of contact to the point where you swear you might have been caught. His coin purse is in your hand, and you quickly tuck it behind your back as he moves and closes his eyes just in time. Grasps at his heart and says, "Love, dear love, Belleteyn, to son, I love you," and then kind of moseys off into the crowd. And you all see that Visha had very nearly been caught with the purse literally in her hand.
And we're done. I'm just gonna start pushing her.
She's just like, and sticks it into her bag. Could be useful for later. But then she will get like serious. Like, we do have to get to this place, and I need to stop fucking around.
And our eyes drift from you back over across the city, down near the lakefront to the vineyard. Cersei, already the party has been set. There is a well-lit road with the lanterns and the candles to your estate, to where you would host large parties. The Duchess will not be showing up tonight, but the minor lords and ladies, the influencers, the sort of master craftsmen, the tailors, the weaponsmiths, even everyone who has a name for themselves here in Toussaint is going to be here. The guest list is extraordinary. To be here is to be in the inner circle. And as you look over this last sphere, this circle of courtyard, with stone and candle and light and tables set with floral arrangements, Oliver stands by your side, with a glass of wine in his own hand, as one of the workers, not exactly a serving boy, but one of the individuals is setting up a drape of some sort along the entryways that can be cut and opened to let others stream in. He's tying one knot, and Oliver, sort of from drinking from his glass, sees him. They make eye contact, and you can see he gives a wink and takes a sip from his glass. The serving boy, or rather the worker boy, kind of fumbles the knot and drops the curtain. He is not berated, but scolded by his, let's call him a supervisor, as the curtain has to be replaced, as it is now touched the ground and filthy. Even though there's only a few specks of dirt on it, now it must be replaced. And he fumbles, kind of gathering it up, and kind of glances over it all over again. Kind of gives a little trill of a wave.
Could I actually catch the curtain, maybe the end of the drape, with telekinesis so it doesn't touch the ground?
I would allow this. Let's have you roll.
Telekinesis. Any skill that you try to perform uses your will at a -3. Complex actions are at a -5. Would you constitute as a complex action?
No, it's simply halting something from falling.
Okay.
There's an argument to be made for the quickness of it, but I'm not going to split hairs.
Okay. In that case, I will spend the 2 stamina. And I will roll a spell casting. It's at a -3. Well, it says like maneuvering through an obstacle or swinging a sword or something like that is like what rolls.
Won't be at a -3.
Things like. Okay, so in that case, 13.
13. It halts in place for but a moment, and he catches it. And rather than being scolded by the supervisor, he is simply kind of looked at very firmly, and he smiles, begins to tie it again and avoids Oliver's eye contact until the deed is done. And he begins to walk to the next station, the next task. And Oliver gives that wave and says, "Jumpy serving staff tonight."
It's going to be quite the party. Everyone who's anybody in Beauclair will be here. God forbid the drape touches the ground for but a moment.
Well, it is sort of a soft pink.
I suppose, yes.
I'll assist with whatever I can tonight. Everyone has been past their glasses, though, and the rest of the guests, I believe, are waiting simply in the courtyard and can drape in here whenever the festivities begin. Is the pole going to be used tonight, or is that just for decoration? I don't imagine the nobles and master craftsmen of Beauclair are going to be running the circle, dancing around ribbons.
It's for the children.
Will there be children here?
I didn't say they couldn't come. You will have fun tonight.
I'm
Is
having
what
a
you
splendid
wait
time,
for.
and he kind of glances over at that same worker boy.
Yes, well, while you're ogling the staff, maybe you could perhaps have a conversation with him on his break.
I don't imagine he'll be getting much of a break if I do. Sorry, that was crass. Sorry, Belleteyn, and he kind of swirls the wine. Strong vintage. Oh, look, Elodie's coming, and he begins to kind of filter away. Because indeed, Elodie is walking down the path. She doesn't... She can see from this interaction, you think, and this has happened enough to the point where she's not giving him a firm look, but just, like, raises an eyebrow as she recognizes that smile on his face. And he flits off to go take care of another task. Elodie joins you. 2 glasses of
Hello.
wine in her hands. She'll
I'll
turn
take
up
one.
to you. Are you tonight lovely?
Oh, a bit tired from setting up, but ready.
Would you like to go lie down? We have a few moments. Will you take as long as you need? You can handle things here.
No, I should be out here helping you.
I have the stamina enough to take care of everything tonight.
That's so.
Everything tonight.
Perfect. Well, and she'll glance at a clock to see, like, when it's time to open the main doors.
5 minutes till.
Well, before we allow everybody to filter in and enjoy our space, let me leave you with this. I'll kiss her.
She kisses you in turn. And she withdraws not too far, holding you by the waist. She says, "Do you know how much I love you, Cersei Aveline?"
She kind of looks up and muses. Oh, I don't know. You haven't told me in a couple days.
All of Belleteyn, all of Beauclair, all of Toussaint. All of the festivities, all of this beauty pales in comparison to you. And all of this day that I have been gathering things, I have thought it nothing but you.
And yet you've stayed on task. Look at you.
To work hard to provide for the life you deserve. She kisses your forehead.
She giggles and glances at the clock again and says, I guess it's time now.
Let's let in the rebel.
And I'll hold out my arm.
She takes it. The two of you walk toward the know, you can see all of the higher ups, all of those that are important in Beauclair. Casually, not wanting to be the first ones at the curtain. They move. And you notice that their pace picks up once the curtain is drawn. You welcome them all. They've come to know you, Cersei. You are not exactly a noble, but you're well known now for your vineyard. I must ask you, in these 10 months, in this time that you've had to establish yourself, do any of them really know you? Do they know what you are?
You know, it crossed my mind thinking about this day, this session. That same question. Because Cersei, while living in Vizima, was very ingrained in the community. She helped nobles, aristocrats, and common folk alike with ailments and things of the sort through her shop. But in Beauclair, that effort hasn't been there, not for lack of wanting to, but I think as a fear. What if I ingratiate myself into this community and watch it burn around me once again?
It's a healthy fear. So you let them in. Not truly. You greet them with a smile. Bid them try the new vintage. You play the hostess alongside Elodie. There is dancing. There has been a bardic troupe invited to provide ambiance and music. Conversation drifts, the same things over and over. And Cersei, you find yourself remembering days when you weren't discussing coin, investments, shipments, movements, city politics. But you discussed strategy. You discussed magic. You discussed a vengeance. People that really knew you. And as you remember this, as you drift through, playing the hostess, sipping your wine, Oliver comes to you. I don't mean to interrupt, but excuse me, and takes you by the hand gently, pulls you away from whatever company you were keeping. There's a problem at the entrance. We have, light security, but I don't know if they're equipped to deal with this. It looks like a robber and but he's with noblewomen, I think. Well, at least one noblewoman. The other looks, I don't know, but they're not on the list. And they claim to know you.
Well, did you get a name from any of them?
Oh, I didn't approach them. Are you serious? Like I said, one of them looks like a fucking highwayman.
Okay. Well, I will handle it.
Oh, you should. I can get Elodie if it helps.
I can handle it.
Be careful. Again, one of them looks like they'll cut your fucking throat for your money.
I can try.
And as you drift to the entrance of this curtain where this sort of bouncer, this doorman stands, that is where we're going to take our break. We'll see you all very, very shortly. Come one, come all, join us now for Belleteyn. Yes, gather, gather. Query this, my friends, as we merry make. If foe be gone and the day hath been won, surely our story's past, for heroes' sake. Let peace be had, let death's grim work be done. Gather, let dandelions spin this thread, of what happens after vampires be slain. By the Witcher, who shattered his foe's head, scattering friends, no glory to obtain. When the evil mage in his dark tower finally faces Collard Ward and falls, unfit to stand against the sister's power, yea, everyone knows then the curtain calls. Nay, friends, for demons lurk in shadowed tomes, and dragon's breath still threatens heroes' homes.
When I first came to this country, I had nothing.
Have you come to kill me?
I am simply descended from survivors, and I always survive.
Life doesn't stop when you die. My blood is not welcome in Camarilla cities.
Did you love your mother?
Dearly.
I did too. I'm not a fan of father.
Crying takes more breath. I've learned that the hard way.
Fuck, Roman. Fuck.
Everyone has a voice in my Phoenix. And welcome back. We hope you enjoyed the break, enjoyed our programming, all of our intermission screen and all that good stuff. Hopefully you found something you might be interested in, aside from just the one-shot. But for now, we jump back into it. We don't join Cersei, we join our trio, as they are stopped by these almost like a doorman, almost like a security guard. He's wearing a breastplate, some bits of armor, but not really full dressed to like as a fully armored knight. And he stops and keeps you all at the curtain and says, "Sorry, I don't recognize any of you all, and I don't. Can I have your names, please?"
Nyoka.
Is there a title, a surname, a family name?
That's the only name you need to know. Just go. Who are we here to see?
We're here to see Cersei.
Right. The mistress of the house is in, but do you have a name I can have aside from just Nyoka?
Visha is my name.
And a family name, a title.
Kamari.
Come on, and he begins
That's
to
all
kind
you
of
get.
flip through this sort of rolled up scroll.
I'll save you
God, I'm
time,
sorry.
And I
love.
walk past him.
Name's not on there.
You can certainly try. And he looks to you, Visha, and says, "Name's not on the list, and I can't require admittance. I'm sorry, this is a bit of a private party." And Yoko, you want to try to walk past him?
Can I help Nyoko?
Yeah, like with the. I'm not trying to be abrupt, but this is like as he's looking, is like a quick part of me through. Hopefully.
I would require a very high stealth roll.
Oh, that's easy. Yeah.
Can I say that I help by
was it Dex
distracting the
itself?
guard?
You can try to help by distracting the guard. He's here to do a job, though. So
Yes.
I'll grant a
Fucking
bonus.
God.
Okay. She's just going to put her hand on his arm and say, "Listen, we're not here as a threat. We just want a little conversation with the lady of the house. I wouldn't mind if you go and got her and brought her this way."
The result of your roll, Yoko.
37.
37.
I got a 10 and a 9.
Getting in that house.
The 37, it's not that he doesn't see you. It's that he's focused now as you begin to talk now, Visha. You move around him and he has this conversation as you draw his attention. And he says, "I could send for her, but I'm afraid this is a private party, and the lady has to be very busy tonight."
You had any wine yet? Have they been taking care of you?
I'm on the job.
Oh, a bit of snack, at least.
I'm gonna have to ask you to move away from the curtain so I can just have a clear path for anyone else who might come through. And he looks and, wait a minute. And he draws, not fully, but he draws this dagger half out of its
Do that,
sheath
love.
and looks.
That's
Where'd he go?
really not a good idea. Put that back.
He turns, and Yoga with a 37, you're gone, bud. But he gives a whistle, and you can see another gentleman kind of scamper off into the crowd, into this party area. He says, "Don't you move. You stay right there."
Not
and
going
he
anywhere.
pulls the dagger fully out.
Oh,
Lies.
put it back. We're not going anywhere. Put it back.
Visha takes out her pipe and she starts smoking. I want to be
No,
clear.
put it back.
she's like, "I will suffocate this man right now." She has the flame in her hand, like.
And our timelines catch up as you were advised, Cersei, that someone's at the curtain for you, and as you move through, Nyoko, go ahead and give me an intelligence awareness roll, please. And for the sake of fairness, Cersei, I'll allow you an intelligence and awareness roll as well. You'd have to beat Nyoko's stealth roll to see him coming, though. So you can just let it lie if you want to, or if you're feeling lucky.
Well, Game Master, it's high. It's not 37.
What is the result of your roll?
20.
20? Not bad. You take stock of the individuals that are watching you move. You see the nobles and ladies. The result of your roll, Nyoka?
23.
23. As Cersei is not hiding, it's just a simple set DC. And you see her move alone toward the curtain, toward where your friends are. Cersei, describe kindly, if you would, what you are wearing tonight, what Nyoka sees as you begin to approach his friends.
Approaching the curtains is a woman on the shorter side, pale skin, dark hair. You see those familiar white streaks, but whereas before she kind of swooped her hair to one side, she now wears it long and free with her bangs, were framing her face. She's wearing a bright red velvet and lace. It looks like a dress. It's actually a top, a long skirt, and a corset tied all together. All of the same color and material. She's holding a glass of wine. And of course, when the firelight catches in the right way, her burgundy eyes look like rubies.
Unmistakable, Nyoka. Do you follow or do you approach?
Can I? Yeah. Can I approach?
You can stop her. You can stop her before she gets to your friends. You can do this stealthily, or you can simply just stop in her path. Entirely up to you.
I more so want to kind of walk in line with her as we're going to the gate, and just kind of abruptly say, "Is that Crow's Ink? Is it?"
And she'll hear the familiar voice and spin on heel. Nyoka.
Nice to see you, Cersei.
Doing here? And she'll approach open-armed.
I will awkwardly return.
What are you doing here?
Oh.
I didn't know you were in town.
We just arrived. I've actually have some friends that's caught up at the gate with your doorman.
You can hear now, Cersei. I don't care who you say you are. I don't care who you're here to see. I don't need to be threatened. It's my right to draw my dagger as security of this place. Now, what do you mean? Explain to me in plain terms what you mean by I wouldn't do that.
You're the one threatening, and we will have to return in kind. Everybody needs to calm down.
Look, I think it's best if you leave
stop
now.
what they're doing.
Can I
I think it's best you stop talking.
The
You may
glow of her
approach,
pipe
Cersei.
grows brighter.
Oh, are those your friends over there? And she's walking and talking.
Yes. I'll be honest. We're not here too much for pleasantries, although it is pleasant to see you again. But I'm helping them with something, and I think we may need your help as well.
Oh, well, let me let them in, and we can talk.
And the guard looks
Thank you.
and watches you approach. Just, Lady Aveline, my sincerest apologies. And he kind of takes the dagger, not exactly putting across his chest, but down lower toward his torso, and gives a small bow. Says, it kind of begins to speak, and then looks at you, Nyoka, and says, "You."
It's quite all right. I know this individual. And then her eyes will drift from Nyoka to the other two. But I don't know either of you. But a friend of Nyoka is welcome in my home.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Miss Cersei.
This is Kura, and this is Visha. Visha, Kura, Cersei.
And as you see them,
Dear love.
as you see them, Cersei, they are twins, dressed very differently. One in armor, one in a dress and gown. There's some differences that you notice right away. There's the differentiation of scars. Visha has a, what is it called? The smile.
Glasgow smile.
The Glasgow smile cut into her cheeks. Has a few scars that you can see kind of peering below her neck. And some along the cheeks and things like that. That's really the big differentiation, as well as the eyes. Eyes are very different amongst these sisters. Very briefly, if you would kindly describe each of your eyes, and we'll begin with Visha.
Visha has one eye is gold and the other is green. Feline almost in shape.
And Kura.
Kura's eyes are similar in that they are the colors, but they are flipped on the opposite sides as Visha's. Her eyes are much more alert, I guess would be the best word.
And as clearly marked, Cersei, you've spent some good amount of time, though it is not exactly diminished. There's a twinge of gold in that glow, the eyes of a witcher.
I see. Well, she'll turn to the bouncer. Thank you for keeping things civil. Why don't you swap out and go on your break?
You show him, and he kind of eyes Nyoka once more.
I'm sure.
Nods. Tucks the dagger away. Kind of gives a once-over over everyone else again. You can see him go to meet another guard. And you can see them kind of whisper, not exactly point, but kind of gesture in their direction. Looking, watching, staying vigilant.
Don't mind them. They're being paid very well to do their job tonight. Please follow me.
Visha will give, when they are gesturing over and looking, Visha will give a little wink and a dangerous smile before following after Cersei. My, what a lovely party.
Yes, well, we're celebrating not only Belleteyn, but our launch of our new vintage.
Foxblood and Crow's Ink, yeah?
Yes, the Crow's Ink was very difficult to perfect, but we're very happy to finally have it out there. And Cersei leads them, kind of weaving through the groups, the cliques of people. And seeing as this is Witcher business, she'll lead them into the home, past the foyer and the den, and into through a back door to a back patio.
We really do thank you for taking the time to talk with us.
Why, of course. I haven't seen Nyoka in so long. I'll take any opportunity to speak with him.
You guys want a moment to catch up, we can will wait.
No, I don't think that's necessary there. You're all friends after all.
Visha is looking at the party as we move through. We can tell they're nobles and sort of higher up people, yes?
Oh, indeed, and they are looking at you as well. As finely dressed as you are, Visha, your companions are not. And being not dressed for the occasion, Belleteyn is a time of fertility, celebration, but this is a different class of people, and there's a bit of a sense that they might be looking down their nose at you.
I'll remember that. Right, I'm sure Nyoko is right to business. You know why we're here.
Not entirely. I'll let you all explain.
Right.
Well, first off, sorry to interrupt, but is Elodie still here?
Elodie's here. She's also hosting tonight.
There's a judging silence for Nyoka. I refrain from speaking more.
I would like a human perception roll from you, Cersei.
And
My interest is piqued.
11 plus 5, 16 plus 8. 24 or 25.
24. Now I won't just assign a DC, but I will give you the choice here, Nyoka. You said that there was a judging silence. Now, words are very careful. Have to be very careful in Ramos Run games, because stating that there is a judging silence states that there's probably could be picked up on. But I'll give you an opportunity if you wish to roll against this to try to keep this judgment to yourself.
Oh, Nyoka isn't one to really hide his feelings, I guess. He kind of wears them on his sleeves. So, no.
So the 24, Cersei, you can pick up on that.
I think she kind of lets out a little chuckle and like looks down for a moment, knowing that this is just like remembering the beef, essentially remembering the promise that was made, and she'll say, "I'm sure she'll join us shortly when there's time."
Who's, forgive me, who's this Elodie that Nyoka seems to have such hesitance towards?
Elodie is my life partner and the main proprietress of our business.
I see. Sees hardly a reason to pick a fight, Nyoka.
I think you misinterpret my emotions on the subject. It's mere caution. Not for her. Well, for her, but not from us.
As a brief note, because I want to clarify, or I want to get this out of the way, for everyone's sake, for the viewer's sake, Wesrold, for the remainder of this conversation, has been swept up in the party. Oliver will have sort of picked him out of the crowd and been like, "Come here, handsome man."
Did I see Wesrold?
For this, I'm gonna say for the time being, no. I'm gonna say that, to
no.
allow that to happen naturally on screen, we're gonna go ahead and say no, not just yet.
Okay.
He was there.
Right. Well, I'm sure it'll be fine. But the reason we're here, my sister is under threat. But in truth, the whole of Nilfgaard is under threat by a dragon. Now, we tried to speak to the lords and ladies of this country to get aid in dealing with this dragon.
For some reason, they didn't like us. I'm just gonna stare at her.
You know, nobles and their expectations. I thought that a threat alone would be enough, but it seems they don't care.
I'm sorry. I hear you. But I'm a little stuck on dragon.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, big dragon.
My sister got into a little entanglement with their pet and has therein been marked.
Okay. What do I know, if anything, about dragons?
I would allow you to do a monster lore.
Straight int, baby. 14.
Let's go.
Precious little, great beasts. Intelligent, incredibly powerful. Very rare nowadays.
Okay. And you had sought aid from the Nilfgaardian nobility. I imagine reinforcements is what you were seeking.
Pretty
Yes.
much, and that's where we're hoping you can help lend your aid the most in trying to get them to listen to reason and raise some kind of defense against this thing.
I see. And her eyes will move to Nyoka. What did you tell them about me, Nyoka?
You have a way with words. Your name is Cersei. You're magically inclined. I think that's the extent of it.
He told us you're an Aretusa mage, so you'd be able to help with the political standing.
I see. Well, I have not, contrary to what you may see here, never had the talent for ingratiating myself deeply into aristocratic society. I was more offering services, however, and she kind of thinks for a moment. Elodie has sway in the Tusanti court.
Good. So then we should talk to her.
You hear there's a jostling as footsteps into the room. You hear a male voice begin to speak, and then a feminine one with a Tucson accent speak and say, "Struck Mo, now take your fucking arm." Inside, into the room steps Elodie, alongside Wezril, who, upon entering, or rather upon quick glance, can see that they're linked arm in arm, and perhaps Elodie is holding onto his arm as though would a host or a someone guiding them through the party. You can see she's gripping him, holding him and moving him. And as the two enter, Elodie looks and says, "My love,
My love.
who are your guests?"
Nyoka
Hello.
has stopped for a visit with friends.
Wezril speaks up and says, "I was trying to explain that," and she squeezes his arm. "I was trying to explain that we're here, or just to say hello."
He's one of the friends as well. The main one that got us here. So,
You're friends with the mage Wezril, the Renwick's care?
Oh, I did tell you, love. He defected.
Defected does not mean been dismissed. Perhaps he's found his way to avenge his former master. And Wezril says, "Former master? Are you avenge him? Are you serious?" And she squeezes again. "I was just here as a transport. My God!"
He has been with us for 10 months. Don't know what that means
he's
to
the main
you.
reason. He was the main reason I was able to be there in the fight against Renwick. So, I highly doubt it.
See. Well, after the battle, we had departed so quickly that we did not get the specifics of your travel. She kind of shoves Wezril away. He kind of grips his arms and says, I was having such a lovely time as well. Hello, Kara. Hello, Visha. Steps over to the three of you.
Glad you didn't get lost. Hello, it's nice to meet you, and I'm gonna hold my hand out to Elodie. I'm Kura.
You see, as Elodie takes your hand, she is a lighter-skinned black woman with, correct me if I'm wrong, Cersei, the hair is cut short on the sides, or is it... Help me with the description. It's been a long time since we've described Elodie.
Elodie used to wear her hair cut short on the sides. She's grown it out, much like Cersei. They're trying new looks, and I think she's grown it out, and it is puffy and curly and voluptuous and beautiful. Still cropped short, so as not to get in the way.
She wears tonight charcoal trousers and a sort of strange, almost like a foreign, almost like a waistcoat in black with a white undershirt. She looks to your hand and says, "I'm afraid I don't know you." She takes your fingers and brings it to her lips, almost touching, but not quite. Says, "Forgive me, I would have been a better host. But I see you. See, Cersei is taking care of you."
Yes, we were talking on business. This is, as well, Visha. And of course, you know Nyoka.
Pleasure to see you again, Nyoka.
I will extend my hand to shake and greet Elodie.
It's a firm handshake, Nyoka, just as you remember. Strong,
Question.
beyond her frame. Yes.
In looking at Elodie, can I tell what she is?
No. No role would be able to be given.
Visha does not shake her hand, but gives her an incline of her head. Greetings. So,
Yes, my love.
Indeed, they have a problem with a dragon.
We haven't had twins since a number of Belleteyns ago, I think. And she gives you a wink. And then looks over Visha and Kura.
There's a blush and a downcast smile.
and that for later. Yes, a dragon. Not just our problem, but really the whole country's problem. Dragons known for their tempers.
Oh, we've gotten right to it then. Excellent.
I don't like to mince words, love.
He nods and kind of goes quiet.
Kura doesn't know how to react, so Kura already went quiet the moment Melody said that.
We were petitioning Cersei for some help amongst the nobles to get reinforcements. Never wise to go against a dragon alone. Eyes her sister when she says it.
Never wise to go against a dragon at all.
We've discussed this, Nyoka. If there is a polite and diplomatic way to deal with the dragon, I'm more than happy to do so, but I highly doubt it.
I can confirm that that is 99% not an option.
No, Nyoka
Well.
speaks true. The witch's instincts are correct. Never wise to go against the dragon. For what need would you have?
It wants me dead. I'll just say it.
You are being
And
hunted.
yes, and as she's my sister, you can see why I can't allow that.
Everyone give me a human perception, please.
22.
Second names.
15.
22, 15. Kura, once more.
14.
And Nyoka.
Or
Everyone but Nyoka can see there is a flash of maybe anger goes across Cody's face. And you brought it here.
No. Would never do that.
No.
Never risk so many innocent lives. It is not actively chasing me yet.
There's been word, though. Flying in the skies. We tried beforehand to get help, but no one would listen.
Flying in the skies where?
Wessie over here did tell us the place, right? That it was
Its
Wessie, you heard me.
home is around Stygia. It's been seen flying, if I remember correctly, around Eden, right?
Very well done. Then my advice would be simply not to go there. Keep yourself north of Ebbing and you'll be just fine.
Is all the people it could hurt in the meantime. It's still a dragon. It's still gonna do what dragons do. And it needs to be dealt with before it can hurt a bunch of people.
How often... I find it interesting how often you bring me bleeding heart witches, my love.
Gee,
This one reminds me of the bear.
I'm
That's a
trained
compliment.
and unrealistic witchers.
There's
Which is-
no, at Bleeding Heart Witcher and then Unrealistic Witcher. I think Cersei can't help but smile, remembering again. And kind of tilting her head to the side and say, are you also more empathetic than your siblings in arms?
Tend to be so, yes. And then I'm gonna look to Nyoka. There's a difference between being unrealistic and just being broken.
Which are you?
I am optimistic, but not naive.
Tend to like that in somebody. And I'll look to Elodie.
And what need have you of my wife?
All we really came here for was help with petitioning the nobles. If she is willing to go further than that, then obviously we will accept, but we wouldn't ask.
I would. You're an artisan mage. There's much to be learned. I was never given the benefit of such schooling.
She raises an eyebrow and looks to Visha and truly takes her in at this moment. Do I notice any affectations?
In what way?
Well, Cersei is her choker. Every mage, as she knows, is a focus. That's how we spot each other.
Well, I suppose that would be up to you, Visha. Because you gained a focus through other means. Last we saw you. Did you bring the staff?
I think she did, but she wears it in such a way. She wears it at her hip. It's smaller. It's not like a full staff, but she wears it at her hip, almost as if it's a sword, and just dangles there. But what you would see on her neck, Visha is of a darker complexion, but you'll see there's almost like a tan line where perhaps there was something there before, but is no longer.
Is that, without trying to meta pigeon, is Visha's past something I could connect the dots on with that tan line? And the context clues of what she said.
I think I'd require a roll.
What would you like me to
I
roll?
will ask for Visha if you'd like to keep things to yourself. Let's have you. This will be an opposed roll of Visha's empathy and deceit compared to Cersei's. Let's call this human perception.
I think in this moment she is trying to connect with Cersei, so she's not hiding anything. I think she's being as forthcoming as Visha is capable of being.
Okay.
She can like see that she's like looking at her and kind of scanning her over, and she just remains straight backed and allows her to do so.
Then no roll is required, I would ask Cersei. Just simply walk us through your train of logic.
Well, through Cersei's time at Aretusa, she was trained in a way that is, as I said in the beginning, the best way to describe it is classical. Her schooling was intense, and she knew of other mages who learned magic through other means. Some had private tutors or mentors. Some, like Westworld, were self-taught. And I think Aurelia would have spoken in disdain maybe one night when she was a little wine drunk of the practice of collaring. And seeing that tan line and the and what Visha had said about her training. I think Cersei's eyes fall to the stave and then back up to her neck, Visha's neck. And there's a flash of pity, but she fixes her face. It's not polite. And she simply says, Aretusa mages are most well known for their political savvy. It's kind of it is what it is. While I maneuver around the aristocracy and nobility, it was not a path I followed upon graduation.
Good, then we can get along. And don't worry about this. He's no longer a problem. Not for me, anyway.
Good.
Right. Well, your lovely wife has said that you are the one who moves more with sway amongst the nobles.
We?
And perhaps you can help us. If there was another way, we would have found it.
Perhaps I can, but I find myself, my heart does not bleed as my wife's does in these nights. I would require a payment of sort for my skills.
Of what variety?
What can you offer?
Services, I suppose. I may not have been trained amongst the Aretusa, but I know a thing or two about alchemy.
With all of the respect I can give, my life partner is a mage. What could you have to offer me in ways of magic that she could not?
think there's an arc of her eyebrow at Alchemy as we are overlooking the garden.
Visha's eyes narrow at that comment. Forgive me, I'm not one for politeness.
Darling, no one is asking you to be polite. This is business. It is cutthroat.
She composes herself because she's like, I might kill this woman. But she composes it, keeps it fucking cool. And she says, a mage, they don't teach you everything. Right? There's just certain things you're not allowed to do. I was never given those borders. So while I may not be able to offer you, Lady Elodie, anything, I could offer you a little bit of learning.
You mentioned alchemy.
Yes, I'm quite accomplished.
And I think there's a switch, rather, within Cersei. Her bleeding heart kind of stows away, and she takes on a shadow of Elodie's business savvy and says, what have you made? Have you brought anything with you?
So happens I have.
At that, I would like to lean in to your ear and whisper, there is the chance to learn our home. If you are willing, but it is not mine to offer.
Elodie speaks up. And your whisper is heard, which is not something that happens often, Kura. Withholding a resource is poor business practice. Your home?
Our home. Yes.
Holding a bargaining chip is not poor business.
You should whisper quieter then.
Such good
In my
hearing.
I hold the
It's
chips.
not often that I am heard.
Do you find it to be a problem
What
for you?
are you? What are you, Lady Elodie? Because you're certainly not human, and
Lady,
you're not a witcher.
businesswoman.
For an example of something I've done, she goes over and grabs Nuka's vampiric arm and just kind of nudges it forward for you all to see.
This was you.
With a little help, yes.
I would
Alchemy
like you to make
is-
an empathy
Oh.
deceit roll, Bisha.
Okay. I'm like not really lying. I'm like sort of telling the truth.
This is a super
Can
lie. What are you
can
talking
I
about?
add to it?
It is
I'd
so
like,
not.
I'd like
Can I
to,
add to
I'd
it,
like
though?
to reference everyone back to Lost Days episode 6, in which this
would
took
like-
place.
To reference everyone to your exact words of y'all performed surgery on your friend. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I listen.
Nyoka,
Okay,
you want to
I
add
have
to
help.
it?
Okay, what am I adding
I
to?
want to add to it in a sense of truth here, right? Because without Visha and Kura's assistance, some of us in this room might still be collared.
Well, since we're being honest, when Yoga came to us, he was armless, and well, then Wessie came to us, and there was a little bit of a vampire problem. So we handled it, took the arm, And I went to my mentor, Kaftan. And he helped me add on to Nyoka. Evidence of my work.
Like a magical training roll from you, Cersei. Let's see if you know Catfin of Ebbing.
Aurelia spoke of Catfin. That was one of our options.
Right. No roll required.
In this though, am I able, and maybe perhaps monster lore or witcher training, am I able to kind of perceive Elodie's reaction to this?
Reaction to what?
To what Visha is saying, because after all, this is the only thing that has been known to kill a higher vampire besides another higher vampire. So
let's call it human perception.
God damn it. Elodie's ain't human. She ain't human. Fuck. It's a 4.
Can I roll it?
You may.
Given that we're already suspicious.
That good hearing, y'all, gave her away.
14.
Well, 14. It's keen interest. It's eyeballing the arm. Her eyes are fixed on Visha. And Visha, what is the result of your deceit roll?
I didn't roll it because I thought if I was honest, I wouldn't have to.
You're not telling the whole truth. Give me the roll.
Okay.
Give.
Do I get like modifications?
You have modifications in the sense that the DC is lower.
Okay. It's a 12.
You expect me to believe that the hedge mage, after this...
Now
You
you're
said
being
you had help?
disrespectful. I did. My mentor, very accomplished and, like yourself, formally trained, I suppose. And he's been around for a while, so he aided me in this endeavor. It was a surgery. Combination of my abilities and his.
And so why would we not just commission your master?
Because he's dead.
My condolences.
None needed. He was a piece of shite. A blight on the world, so no harm, no foul.
I think there's a... You know what happens? I'll tell you what happens. I'm going to use telepathy on Elodie.
By all means.
Well, there's that whisper, almost as if the flapping wings of bats in one's ears, before Cersei's voice comes through clearly in her mind, and she says, "Without that arm, Renwick, well, do you think we owe them in a roundabout way?"
Owing them is one thing. Going off with strangers who seem to be quite dangerous is another, my love. And I will say this, as this goes on, Nyoka and Visha, or I'm sorry, and Kura, your medallions twinge. They vibrate for a moment.
I think Cersei is taking a breath and saying, can I offer, while telepathically speaking, saying, can I offer anybody refreshments?
I'd love to taste your wine. We were walking through the city, people were raving about it.
Of course. And she'll, let's see, do I need line of sight for this? I know Wetbag did it.
With the
I will
medallion,
say-
we don't know where the magic's coming from, correct? We just know that somebody's casting something.
It's a magical spell or effect. It's within 5 meters of you, I believe.
Kura will speak up and say, "It is not nice to cast spells when we are having conversations, whichever one of you is doing it."
Oh,
Certainly
I always
not
forget
me.
the medallion. I always forget about the medallion. I'm simply checking in with my wife.
We are conferring as partners quite often do.
Means.
If you give us a moment, we'll grab your refreshments so we do not offend you with any more magic. We'll leave you to confer with your companions as well then.
Sounds like a plan to me.
She offers you a hand, Cersei.
I'll take it.
2 of you leave the room. We'll remain with our vision, the 3 of you, Nyoka, Isha, and Kura. You're left alone. With Westworld, of course.
What is she?
Hmm.
No more bandying about it.
They should know what they're dealing with.
Well, let's put a quick course. Kura, what creatures are sentient, heightened senses? It only takes one to kill one. The whole purpose I needed this.
You're fucking
Pointing to his
shitting me.
arm.
Huh. Well, if you ever need an extra limb. Visha is going to turn, because we are on like a outdoor balcony, right?
Patio.
Yeah. Visha's going to turn towards the garden. Obviously, she sees all the flowers and the vineyard itself. But does she see anything else?
I would leave that to Cersei.
Funny thing is, Cersei is not the most accomplished alchemist. And also a modest gardener. You see the basics. White myrtle. There's a Berber cane fruit tree. I think there's rose bushes. Lavender blossoms. Pretty typical alchemical ingredients. There's nothing super fancy or advanced in this garden.
She's trying. I think I can teach her a thing or two. And she's gonna root around in her bag. And Visha has a little packet that has a bunch of different seeds in it. And she will just, take that out and have it ready for when Cersei comes back to help her add to her garden.
Understood.
Can I address Kura as Visha is taking a gander?
Absolutely.
I must say, perhaps this was a mistake. And to be quite honest, I still hope to deter you from trying to kill a dragon.
If I had any other choice, honestly, I wouldn't be going. There is not much of a choice here, Nyoka. It will come for me eventually. And when it does, wherever I am, everybody in the near vicinity is going to be screwed.
Dragons aren't mindless beasts. Very intelligent, strategic. They have desires and wants. If creatures can have emotions like the ones we just experienced, then they could be bargained with. They can be deterred in other ways. So I ask you, what's your goal? I understand Visha wanting to protect her sister and doing anything she can do to do that. But you, as a Witcher, you wanting to save lives, yet wanting to bring a whole army to fight your war, is doing the exact opposite.
It's not just mine. What happens when it goes on a rampage?
Dragons
Yes.
are things of myth. They live for decades, hundreds, thousands of years for all I know. If it wanted to go on a rampage, it would have. And I highly doubt it will for you.
So you want to reason with it?
I want you to consider what you truly want out of this. Because once we set down this path and decide killing it is the only option, I'm not the one that cares about death.
With that in mind, we jump over to Cersei and Elodie as they garner your refreshments.
I think there's a pause. Cersei's kind of chewing on all that's happened thus far. And then she said, I think they know.
What about?
About you.
I would have no doubt. Yoko must have told them, or at least hinted. In Westworld, although we had no interaction, he knew who I am.
Cersei was set down the bottle she grabbed and walk over to Elodie and put a hand on her arm. Are you okay?
I don't want to send you into the unknown. I know the way you miss the world. Not a fool, my love. I see you when you get lost. When you look toward the sky, when you look out in your garden and you remember. I know you miss your friends. But these are not your friends. The one, she reminds me of the bear. But she is not the bear. Yoka comes back to you a different man. And Visha is a rogue element. I'm not going to hold you back. But I want something in return. It's assurance, and they can't give me that. The most they can give me is their home. So that if something happens to you, they know what must be destroyed.
Did you see the letter I received from Margarita? Did you read it?
No.
Radovid is unhinged. I can't go back to the north. The only way I can guarantee our safety is if the courts, is if the Emperor knows about us.
Managed to get by staying out of politics for the past 10 months.
I can't promise tomorrow if this ever-present war threatens to reach our doorstep every day. But what I can least assure is if I conversate with the right people, then maybe we can have safe passage elsewhere if it does.
Not Velia. Artusa can help you.
They have their own problems. They have to protect their own.
You. You are not obligated. You're looking for a reason. My love, if you want to go, say that you want to go. Don't justify this to me. Tell me you want to go. It's all right.
Couldn't just stay put. I want to stay put, but I can help people again. These people don't need me like Vizima did.
Bleeding heart witches are getting to you.
Well, stick around, they might get to you too.
They may try. I still want something out of it. I want to know where their home is. I want to know where they rest their heads at night.
If I can deduce, we can confirm, but if Cadfan of Ebbing was Visha's mentor, and Cadfan of Ebbing is dead, Cadfan of Ebbing never left his home.
The tower.
She'll not.
Very well. Let's go give your new guests the good news.
She'll give Elodie a really warm, sad hug. Kiss her on the cheek and rest her nose in the crook of her neck. And say, I'm sorry.
Don't you dare apologize to me. You can do no wrong. You are the only right thing in this world.
Maybe that's why I feel the need to help it. And I'll release Elodie and pick up the bottle again and begin to walk back out to the back patio.
You do this. As Elodie and Cersei rejoin you, the scene is all of yours.
Well, I didn't know if you all preferred notes of rose or lavender, so I brought both.
Very accommodating. I have something for you, Cersei. I noticed your garden. I can see the beginnings of someone interested in alchemy.
Always been interested. I can do the basics, but it was never my forte.
Something I heard about Artusa mages is not only do they limit your power the things you can learn. Do they try to force you to be quiet? She will hand over this packet. And you can feel it, like at the bottom, that there are a bunch of different seeds. I can begin a little stash for you. I meant it when I said I could teach you. Maybe you can teach me some things too.
I was an instructor. So, if you're open to it.
I think so.
Well, and she'll pocket the seeds for now and say, we've discussed. I will go with you to entreat with the courts. Perhaps it's time that I make friends in the right places.
Excellent. You should, you traveled with Nyoka, so I'm sure he's already spoken to you about the wild hunt. Yeah?
Oh, yes.
It's another endeavor of mine. And while I am not the bleeding heart that my sister is, I live on this continent. Can't continue to do that if the wild hunt takes over, so there are some other things I've been working on that I could use an extra set of eyes on. These two are fucking useless.
Dude.
You are, and you get easily distracted.
Well, if you allow me into your home, then perhaps we can get some real work done.
Visha, just like Azad said, there's a moment where Visha looks at Elodie for a moment. And you could see on her face, she is suspicious. But it's not in the same way as maybe like Nyoka has been. It's just in the way of like, she understands dynamics between people, and we are taking her wife away. So like, there's a moment of hesitation. She says, I show you around, not as beautiful as this place is, but holds a lot of knowledge.
You can begin your tutelage now. Let's have a toast to your arrangement. And you can begin showing me where you fell short in politics. There are plenty to practice on out there.
She raises her glass. And she'll take a sip.
Elodie
I will
and
raise
Roger
it.
will do as well.
Kura will as well. And as she does, it's gonna be bad. Just telling you now.
Nyoka, do you raise your glass? Do you drink?
I raise my glass and I down it. One gulp.
She like gestures to Nyoka and goes, see what I've been dealing with?
That bad.
Oh yes, I remember. I remember the what was it that you and Ingrid had?
Oh, I can't right remember what exactly it was. It was
That makes sense.
Oh, of course, of course. So when we finally get some information about who Nyoka was before, all of a sudden he doesn't remember.
To be fair to Nyoka, there was very potent alcohol, from what I recall.
yeah. It's not that I choose to not remember, it's that I don't entirely remember. So,
You know, when I first met him, he told me his blood was full of poison. You'd think he'd be able to handle his liquor better.
You are all ushered out and bid to gather with the nobles and the master craftsmen and the higher-ups of the city. You practice, you watch Elodie sort of give you a lesson. You are all bid to play the politician, to play the game. And as you do this, I would like a human perception roll from Kura and from Nyoka.
11. Yeah.
11 and 7?
No, they were both 11s.
Both 11s. Understood. Play the role of politicians. It's interesting for all of you. But Kura and Visha, you don't. It's going unwell. As this is going on as well, I need the same roll from Cersei and Visha.
I'll put 2 points of luck into this.
Misha got a 22.
24.
While this is going on, as this politicking is going on, you are learning. You're watching yourself stumble and fail and succeed in other places. But Visha and Cersei, your eyes are keen and more adept with people than monsters. Sometimes there is no difference. And you don't hear whispers, but you see on their lips as they form them Witchers, Emperor, Belleteyn. And that is where we're going to close this one shot of Witcher. The beginnings of our new Witcher Chronicle campaign, whatever you'd like to call it. It's been a long time coming. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching. And we'll see exactly what those words mean for our new party. Thank you all so much. See you guys next time. Same time, same place, same politicians. We'll see you then.